Hi guys, I'm Andy, welcome back to Backpacking UK, the YouTube channel that's all about hiking, backpacking and wild camping. Right, today I've got a cracking tent for you. It is the Wild Country Helm Compact 1. This is the tent that I took with me to the West Highland Way. It's also the tent that got Gear of the Year in 2023 from Trail Magazine, and Trail Magazine also gave this Best Value product as well. It's a highly rated backpacking tent. There's no doubt about it, the helm range is good. This is the one. I've also had the 2-person helm as well. That's a cracking tent. Now these retail at £250. However, if you use the code Backpacking UK, I'll put the link in the description, you'll get a discount off all Wild Country, Terra Nova and Extremities products. So if you are thinking about getting any of them, stick that code in, get yourself a discount. But it's a cracking compact 1-person backpacking tent. It's 35 centimetres long by 17 centimetres wide and high. Also weighs less than 2 kilos. It's 1.97 kilograms. Now it's hard wearing. The whole tent is 68D polyester fabric. Some people love polyester fabrics because it takes on less water, it sags less of an issue with a freestanding dome tent like this. However, it's just something to think about. But what we're going to do today, we're going to have a look what you get inside this tent bag. Then we're going to get it pitched, have a good look around it, have a good look inside, and then tell you my final thoughts. So this is what you get inside the Wild Country Helm 1 tent bag. First of all, it's got a cracking tent bag. It's one of these easy pack compression bags. I wish all tents came with them because they are superb. You've got 12 of these really nice V-pegs. They're all alloy. They actually work really effectively. I think they're superb. The pole set is 8.5mm alloy poles, a red one and a blue one, colour coordinated to make it really easy to pitch. Also pitches inner and outer together, so it pitches really easily and really fast as well. If it's raining, the inner will not get wet. So let's get the Wild Country Helm 1 tent pitched. So the Wild Country Helm Compact 1 tent has 1 door and 1 vestibule. So just bear that in mind when you're pitching it. So I'm going to start with the blue pole first because that goes underneath the red pole. The red pole is pre-bent where the blue pole is just nice and straight, but it's dead easy to erect this tent. It's got nice thick pole sleeves that are colour coordinated, so I'm just going to stick the blue pole through just like so. So again, I've got a little tab, red in colour this time. The poles are pre-bent, so I'm just going to have that going through like so. And now I'll just feed it through and up she goes. So within a very short space of time, the main tent is up. Now it's just a case of starting to peg it out. So let's have a quick look around the Wild Country Helm 1. So it's a classic freestanding dome tent, just uses the 2 8.5mm poles. All the guy lines are in just the right places, 1 at each end, 1 on each side. Actually uses 2 vents, not just one on either side. Even though it's just 1 door and 1 vestibule, there is another vent on the other side there. These are all the colour coordinated sections. It's just such an easy tent to pitch. These are the guys on the sides. it's just flies up, and if you've had a hard day's backpacking, it's absolutely lovely to pitch a tent like this that goes up so easily. So to open up the door on the Wild Country Helm 1, you've got storm flap with Velcro, you've got a dual zipper up and down, you've also got a clip at the bottom of the door to stop the door from riding up in the wind. Really thick fabric, this 68D polyester, just gives you that feeling that it's really going to look after you. So as you can see, you've got plenty of solid mesh here, bit of see-through mesh too. It's a really good all-season backpacking tent, really got to say. When you're lying down, this solid mesh covers any chilly breezes. Also the fly comes really close down to the ground, but you've still got a reasonable sort of section here of see-through mesh plus the two vents. You can get a bit of air flowing through this tent. So the fly on the Wild Country Helm 1 is a 4,000mm hydrostatic head rating, and the bathtub floor is 5,000mm. So I mean, I've used this in the rain. I've also had the Helm 2 in some really bad weather, and I've never had any water ingress whatsoever. So the thick waterproof material really is very effective. So to unzip this door, you've got a dual zip, and the zip goes right back, so you can really get in and out of this tent nice and easily. So the vestibule on the Wild Country Helm 1 is 45cm, but has a trump card. It's actually got access via the inner of the tent to a further 40cm vestibule. So when you add the two together, you've actually got quite a lot of storage space, which is outside the inner of the tent. So let's have a look inside the Helm 1. This is the 45cm vestibule. The door goes into its own pocket. Got a big pocket at one end. You've got a lantern hook, and you've also got a big pocket at the other end. Now this is how you access the further 40cm vestibule on the other side, and you can zip it up like so, or you can create even more ventilation as well. It's a really well thought out tent. It's absolutely superb. So the interior space inside the Helm Compact 1, it's 220cm long, 77cm wide, and it's 92cm tall. So I'm 5'8", 172cm with a very long back. If I'm bolt upright, my hair is just starting to hit the roof of the tent. If I'm slouched, I've got loads of room. Personally, I think this tent would be fine for someone up to 6 foot tall, but for a backpacking tent that's one person, I think it's got all the space that you need. You can have a really wide sleeping pad in here and have space down one side for some of your belongings. You can shove some of your other gear on the far vestibule. Means you've got room for your backpack and room to do some cooking. On the door side vestibule, it's just really well thought out. It's just one of my favourite tents, and I've got some really expensive tents. So what do I think about the Wild Country Helm 1 tent? It's just under 2 kilos. I love the small compact size. It's fantastic, means you can take lots of gear with you. I love the fact it's maybe not a true 4-season tent, but it's definitely a 3+. It's definitely more than the 3-season rating they give it, that's for certain. It's got some cracking features. I love this little side that you can open up and access the other vestibule. I like the way it also creates additional ventilation too. You've got 2 massive pockets for storage, lantern hook, storm flap, clip for the door. It's so stupidly easy to put together. It's just an absolute dream to pitch, and I've pitched this in some not particularly great locations, and you can just get away with it with this tent. The fabric's just really thick. I personally don't see the need for the optional ground sheet at all. Personally, I think that's a bit of a waste of time. Now, me myself, in the Helm 1 and the Helm 2, I personally haven't suffered any condensation problems. So I think that helps with the vents that are open all the time on both sides of the tent, and the extra sort of see-through mesh inside the tent as well. So ventilation has been really quite good. The fly comes really quite far down to the ground without being a true sort of full season winter tent, but again lets that little bit of air flow through as well. So what don't I like about this tent? Now, it retails £250, but I wouldn't worry too much about that, because like I said, I have got a discount code that is in the description, so it's more like £200. And £200 for this tent, I think that's a really good value tent, mainly because of the design, the compactness, the fact is it's just under 2 kilos. You know, for a lot of tents at this price point, you're looking at 20D nylon fabric, which is certainly lighter. You can get lighter tents than this for that money, there's no doubt about it. I would have liked to have seen maybe a 20D nylon version, but it looks like they've saved that material for the Terra Nova branded tents. Now for me, there's plenty of room inside this tent for me. I've had the Helm 2. For me, at 5'8", 172 centimetres, not the biggest of guys. It was a bit excessive, the Helm 2, but I totally understand why some people would prefer that to this. One thing I would like to say, if you've got a little bit more money, you can buy the Terra Nova Pioneer 2 for £350, including a footprint with that as well. Now, size-wise, it's virtually the same size and virtually the same weight as well. And that is a much better tent, without a doubt. And for just a little bit more money, if you can afford it, I'd probably go with that. But as a one-person backpacking tent, it's really hard to fault for the money, and not just for the money as well, for the use as well. Like I say, you can use this all year round. But anyway, if you want to see this tent in action, please check out my West Highland Way videos. This tent, I will always have a soft spot for it. There's no doubt about that. I absolutely love it, and I highly recommend it, and I can see why it's award winning too. But please check out my videos, and hope to see you wild camping soon. Cheers.